Welcome and thank you for your interest in this Redesign Your Course class. This is a short video that will walk you through the objectives of this course and what the layout will look like, as well as answer hopefully some questions that you have along the way. To begin with, I would like to talk about why I designed this class. And that really goes back to my very first teaching experience, where I was handed a textbook, a sample syllabus, or maybe even just some learning outcomes, and told to go forth and conquer. And the more faculty I talk with, that's not uncommon. We are experts in our field or subject areas, and not necessarily in the art of education. Now, while we figure it out along the way, this class was really designed to give you some tools to help you be better at what you do, more comfortable with what you do, and actually make your job easier. One of the first things where I see a dichotomy is the idea of success. So if I were to ask each of you, what is a successful teaching moment for you? I think it would be very different from what higher education as a profession considers successful, which is pass rates, completion rates. We call that success, and yet as an educator, I think we have different ideas in mind. So I really like the National Education Association's Code of Ethics, one of their descriptions, because I think this fits more in line with what teachers or educators, depending on who you talk to, teachers or educators define as success. And this definition includes some key phrases like the spirit of inquiry, but also the difference between acquisition of knowledge and understanding. And those are key points that this course really will touch on. Now, hopefully you are taking this class because you are interested in open education resources and you have an OER text in mind to utilize as we go through this course. However, you don't necessarily have to use OER for this course to be applicable. And some of the problems that we run into as instructors with our textbooks are that they don't really serve how we teach or the way we teach, but we use them in efforts to help our students. Textbooks aren't always the answer to help our students learn, though. So this course, we're going to look at finding ways to actually allow our students to succeed the way that we would consider success, but also to make the teaching, the work part of teaching easier. So next we come to instructional design and some instructional design concepts. Now this class isn't going to be in depth about instructional design, but really give you some models and templates that you can use in any classroom. So the basics of excuse me, the basics of instructional design is so very simply, instructional design is, it started out in aerospace engineering actually, in what was then called system theory. And that was a development through NASA where they were trying to look at all of these interdependent systems and how to make them or build plans where they all communicate together. If we think about the classroom, that's really apropos because you alone are a system. You have your processes and methods and goals. Students are an entirely different system. They have very different goals, very different ways of thinking, ways of understanding, different vocabularies, different literacies. And so if we are not considering the student system when we're creating a course, we're missing half of our audience. We're missing half the battle. So instructional design is integrating the system of what the instructor needs and what the student needs as well as others, and very focused on the learner, so the student. All the concepts are from the perspective of how do we get the student to accomplish what, as an instructor, I need them to accomplish. And it sounds maybe a little work intensive, but it's actually very supportive to the instructor and what they're using. The impact of this is that we're looking at what the students are coming into the classroom with. And so we looked at in a previous slide that they're quite unprepared as a whole. They may have very limited understanding of the vocabularies that we use as higher education experts. They definitely are going to have different vocabularies than you would use in conversations about your subject matter. And so we're taking into account all of the things that a student brings into the learning environment. And it might seem like a lot more to include, but it's really makes an easy plan for, okay, this is looking at your assignments and saying, okay, this is what my students need. And hey, here's a great way to give it to them. So with that in mind, that's what we're going to do in this class is take the current course that you're teaching and switch it around so we're looking at it from the student perspective and changing how you're structuring your course. And this will walk you through step by step. Now, I always consider the cost of things, and the cost isn't necessarily financial, always. Your time and efforts are a cost. You have to give up things to invest in this, and that is at the height of how I develop a course, is considering the value that you are contributing. So this course is meant to be done in a 6-week period. However, it will be open for, I think 10 weeks is how long I have it open for currently. You can take it fast if you want. You can take it slower. You can come in and out as you please. It is over the summer right now, so I am wanting you to understand that that's a value as well and a consideration. So while my expectation is that you value your time, it's also that you not feel pressured to complete this course or this class, but more I would like to see and help and support you redesign your own course. So though the 6 weeks are there, and during that time we will have 3 online virtual office hours or meetings or workshops, whatever you want to call them, where we come together and work through some of the coursework. Those workshops are not required to complete the course. They're just meant to help. The assignments are not work that you're generating for me, but really you taking your course and using the templates or worksheets that I've developed and putting your coursework into them. So it should take roughly less than 3 hours per week, and you will have a discussion board, so a live area for you to submit your work, ask questions, get peer-reviewed support, and of course you always have help from me as your instructor. So hopefully you've already chosen a class, you've already signed up for this, and the next thing is I just want you to think about where you're at with that class, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what you're hoping to accomplish from it. And then breathe, and then get back into it. So our current timeline, and these will be up on your online course shell, is that every 2 weeks we'll go over 2 lessons. And as you can see, there's only 8 lessons. The last workshop we will only hold if there is interest. And at that point, by lesson 7 and 8, you should already have your class restructured and signed out. So it's a great opportunity to talk about specific assignments or specific resources that you're looking into. But again, I am available during that time, but we will only have that last workshop if there's interest in the class. And so that's what you can expect from this course. If you have any questions as we go along on the online course platform, there is a general query discussion board post where you can ask those at that time.